at what's happening YouTube. Going to be going through a guide for bryanfury in Tekken 8. Been playing Bryan just over a year now. I just wanted to share sort of my knowledge, what I think about the character, how to approach the character, his kind of core tools, punishment. I hope you lot enjoy this video. So just to start with sort of an intro to, you know, Bryan, what kind of character this guy is. I would say he's a super unorthodox character. In terms of, he's mainly a timing based character, has probably some of, if not the best counter hit tools in the game. He has amazing keep out, amazing damage. He is super difficult to play, requires a lot of execution, requires you to, you know, have good matchup knowledge as well, so you can kind of move around it. He doesn't really have amazing panic tools, so he relies a lot on his movement to execute things. He has really strong punishment, not his standing punishment. Anything up to sort of 13 frames, up to 12 frames is pretty average, but anything past that is incredible. He has a 14 frame launcher, as everyone knows. It's jet upper, so he's quite unique in that sense. He has, again, amazing keep out, amazing lows. He has insane Oki and probably one of the best wall pressure in the game as well. And the main things I'll start off talking about is probably his jab and jab strings. Now, this is, in general, whether it's real life fighting or in the game, your jab is your most important tool, right? Now, Bryan has a terrible jab, but he has a great jab at the same time. It has a really high hitbox, so especially in this game, there's so much high crush that this jab just gets crushed by every single thing in the game, I swear to God. But it's still really good. It's still part of his, you know, sort of core game plan, you know, setting up your pressure, because it has insane reach. Insane reach, this jab. It's a good approaching jab, sort of gets your pressure started.
Alright, now going into his jab strings, you've obviously got 1-2-1, which is +6 on hits, and on block it is -6. So obviously you do lose your turn, but the amazing thing about this character, oh, if I can hit it, it is a counter hit launcher, and you know, you can do whatever combo you like. His optimal combos obviously do a ton of damage, but yeah, it's just more mind games you can sort of create with this character. You know, am I going to finish the last hit? Oh, I finished it, now you're launched. But yeah, you've got 1-2-3 as well, which is +2, so with +2, you know, you can sort of continue your momentum, maybe do a single jab. Obviously they can step, but it can also, you know, keep that momentum going. Also, it does knock down, and you get a guaranteed QCB4. There he got up quickly, which is why he got launched, but yeah, if they don't get up quickly, you just get the QCB4 flip over. If they get up quickly like you just did there, you can get a launcher, but that's for another video. And then you've got 1-2-4, which is -5 on block, and on hits, if you connect it, again, this is natural and counter hit, it is a heat engager, which we will get into further into the video.
As I was talking about 1-2-4, heat engager, it's also wall splats, which is quite insane, to be honest. So if you've got this person at the wall, you know, you get, I don't know, like a forward 3 or something, or you're down 4-2 connects and you're +5 and you go for 1-2-4, you know, it wall splats for just insane amounts of damage. Doesn't really matter what combo you do. You could do your heat burst and then, you know, let this rip, 74 damage for a G-Clef, all natural again on counter hit. So really good moves, but you need to place them correctly. 1-2, you know, it's only -3. You can play insane mind games with these strings. So you could do a single jab into like a forward 3 if you've conditioned your opponent. Again, if it's on hit, you can literally do anything. Forward 3 comes out 16 frames, +4 on hit. You could do a back 1. Again, they could interrupt it, but back 1 does high crush jabs a little bit, so it would end up trading with something like a jab. But yeah, everything is set up from here. Even if I did, you know, 1-2, the thought of waiting for 1-2-1 or 1-2-3 or 1-2-4 coming out gives you that mental stack, that mental pressure against your opponent. Now, other cool tools he has are things like down 2. Down 2 is insane in this game. -2. It is -2 on block. which, you know, you can pretty much do anything. You know, anything up to sort of 3, 4, sometimes 5, -5, you can still move and, you know, maybe cheese someone out with some sort of follow-up, but, you know, -2 is incredible. And again, Bryan being Bryan, you've got counter hit launching extensions for just insane amounts of damage. So down 2, 3, again, this is kind of how you set things up with Bryan. So I might do something like, you know, down 2 on block into down forward 2, even if they block it again into like a forward 3. Again, building that sort of mental stack, mental pressure on my opponent. They're thinking, oh, is he going to rip the 3? Nope. So I'll do down forward 2. Is he going to rip the 1? Is he going to rip the 3? Again, you know, down forward 3. Am I going to get launched? I'm not going to finish it. Now I'm going to do forward 3. And now I'm, you know, anything up to, you know, +2. Depending again on range. So as you can see there, +2. And then I might just let my G clef rip, because again I'm +2, so you can't jab interrupt me. But yeah, down to, you know, -2 on block, it's +8 on hit, and then obviously counter hit launcher, 14 frame move, really good. In tight scenarios as well, you know, when you sort of heat engage on someone, they're like 1 HP and you think they're going to do like some sort of down jab or mash, you know, let this rip, you're +5, just let that rip. It catches a lot of people. Again, you can step this move to the left, which is the only, well, if I have them blocking, left is the only real way you can step this. It catches right, so do be careful throwing this out, because again, people, you know, they played against Bryan a fair bit, you know, they sort of know at least how to step these moves. Even, you know, well, down forward 2 does actually catch sometimes, but it can be stepped both directions, just depends on sort of the angle. More time you would step, you know, down forward 2 to the right and it would whiff, but it catches. Oh, okay, you can step them both directions, don't listen to me. But when you do something like back 1, it will catch them. When you actually have plus frames in general, if they go left after your plus frames, it will whiff. Even if you are, you know, +5, it will still whiff. So really be careful with how you use this move, right? Down forward 2, I have mixed thoughts on this move. Sometimes it's an amazing move, sometimes it's the worst move in the game. Again, it's super linear, but, you know, 13 frame move, it's -6 on block, +5 on hits. It's down forward 2-1 is natural, so if this connects, the 1 will always connect after. Again, you can delay this string and let this rip, so it does have multiple extensions, so you can create mind games. That is why they've made this -6 on block. Otherwise this move would be absolutely broken if it was anything less. But yeah, good move. It's a good mid check when people like Kuma, for example, if he was to power crush you, you know, when he goes into a stance, you can throw this out as a check. Things like that. There are scenarios where you definitely have to use down forward 2, but try not to over abuse it. Use it more for the mind game. So, you know, the down forward 2 into maybe the down, you know, the down 4, or you do down back 3 thinking they're going to do a high to retaliate, and now, you know, you can sort of get your pressure started off of that. But yeah, get creative with down forward 2, but try not to over abuse it, because again, it is super linear.
And then we have this insane move, which is back 1, which is +7 on hit, and on block it is +4. Comes out at 20 frames, 21 frames. Just an incredible tool. Obviously, this is Bryan we're talking about, so it is a counter hit launcher for absolutely ridiculous damage, as you can see. So yeah, this tool again is used to, you know, sort of build momentum on your opponent. You know, when they're +7, they're in crouch, they can't really do anything at all. They can't step, otherwise, you know they'll get jet uppered, or if they try mashing, you can just do down 2, 3 and counter hit launch them. Again, it just really sets up your pressure and helps you build momentum going forward.
One of his, in my opinion, best mids that he has is his down forward 1 sequence. This move is the move. This is how you really condition your opponent. All hit confirmable, 5 hit string. First hit's -5 on block, and then everything else is -10, and then it finishes at -15. So do be careful with finishing the string. And sometimes it's a bit finicky, like where you think you got the confirm, and then suddenly you've like missed the timing, well, something like this, and then boom, you get launched for no reason. So you need to practice using down forward 1, because again, it is one of his best tools. 34 damage, mid, hit confirmable at any point in this string. You know, you could whiff the first 3, then the 4th one hits, and then you can just let that hit rip. So, and it has amazing tracking. So even when you're like +5 and they try stepping, either direction it will clip them. If they go to the left, they have a better chance of like whiff punishing you and launching you. So again, be careful, watch how your opponent's moving, but in general, use this move, because the mind games you can create with this, you can do a single one, and then they're thinking, oh my god, are the last like 4 hits going to come? And then you just throw a forward 3, a while standing 3. Now you've counter hit launched them. Like this, these are the sort of mind games you want to create with Bryan. It's like, oh, am I going to finish this string? No, I'm not. Am I going to keep going? Am I going to do 2 hits this time? Am I going to do 3? Who knows? And then you just switch up your pressure. But again, all of this is to create that mental stack on your opponent, throw off their timing. By the way, it's only +1 on hit though, so I mean, like, you're generally only +1 after this whole thing lands. So the best thing you can do, because people do like to mash after this a lot, sometimes, you know, let the G clef rip if you think they're gonna mash, but again, they can sidewalk you, so really be careful. But again, it is in your favor to use this move. Now, one of his notorious moves, which they have slightly nerfed, but it's still a super OP move, 3+4, +8 on hit, insane range. I mean, like, what is that? What is that range? What is that, like, about 2.5, sort of? Yeah, about 2.6, 2.7 range. It's got insane keep out, counter hit launcher for, you know, just insane amounts of damage. Has sort of weak tracking. It tracks better if they step to the left. They can, it's super linear, so they can, you know, always step it to the right even when you have plus frames. So be careful with how you use this move, because you will get whiffed and launched. Like, you'll get whiff punished quite easily, so just be careful about how you place this move. But it is one of his best moves in his toolkit, especially if you're playing against sort of rushdown characters and you want to create that space and you don't want them to get close to you. Make sure you're using this move. The properties, obviously, it's I-18, it's -13 on block. Most of the costs can, I'm pretty sure all of the costs can punish it, but yeah, does 20 damage on hit, counter hit launcher as well. Yeah, +8, -13. That's all you really need to know. Just make sure you place this correctly. Again, you can do like a jab into 3+4. It's a perfect frame trap. It will trade with a jab. They'll get launched. You get a big combo. But yeah, amazing tool. No longer knocks down as it used to in 7, but you know, we move. Sort of a panic tool. It's forward 4. Great homing tool. Guaranteed knockdown as well. You get QCB 4. I-16 move is -9 on block, so you do lose your turn. Homing, just insane move, insane amounts of damage. Can't go wrong with using this. If they are stepping a lot, and it's got built-in sidestep as well, so you know, you kind of sidestep to the left. So it's been universally sort of good against, you know, Mishima players, but a lot of players overall. It's just really good tool. Yoshi's probably the only one who can spin out of it, but yeah, let's not talk about that. His other homing move, 1+2. Again, more mind games can be created with this move. Obviously, Bryan being he's sort of a momentum-based counter-hit character. So, you know, you're building momentum. You're going like this. You're building momentum this way. You're stopping them from moving. They can't do anything. 1+2 plays into that. So 1+2 is I-17, -7 on block, +6 on hits. With extensions, so you've got 1+2 1, which is only -1 on block. If this guy wants to block, as you can see, -1. You can also go into sway, which will make it neutral, and then you can sort of sidestep with it, or you can, if you're brave, let a mix off. Wouldn't recommend it unless it's on hit, obviously, then they can eat the mix. But yeah, you've got the back sway on hit, which will be, I believe, +7. Yeah, +7, +6 normally on hit. Then you've got an extension with Bryan being the way he is. Of course, he has launchers just coming out everywhere. Pause. 1+2 2. fantastic launcher. Again, more mind games, but you need to make sure you be careful with using this move because it's minus 14. If you're in the Bryan mirror, or if you're playing against a Mishima who is just insane at electrics, you will be getting launched for this. So really place this. Do the mind games again. You know, do just the 1+2 spin, because the 1+2 1 is a high, so they could duck launch. But if they're ducking and you notice they're like twitch ducking whenever they see this, let the 1+2 rip. If you heat burst, you can catch them on the floor. But if you know about the tech on how to get out of that, you know the tech. I'm not gonna reveal that tech. It's just if you know, you know. But yeah, these are fantastic moves. Again, minus 14. You can also try and use it at the wall as well. That's one thing I've implemented a little bit because people do like to, you know, step away from the wall quite often. So if you just look at this, this is guaranteed. You just get a nice launcher at the wall with 1+2 2. So it has a lot of usage. It has a lot of use. So make sure you're using that in your kit. And on top of that, it's a safe mid. minus 7. A really good move. Now, one of his other fantastic moves that we absolutely love to spam is forward 3. Amazing move. It can be anything up to +2 on block, as you can see, meaning they cannot interrupt. So you can throw your 10 frames out, your 1-2-1s, your 1-2-4s, your 1-2-3s if they don't block, or just a single jab just to keep your momentum going. Now, be careful with this move because the range is terrible. Sometimes the range is really good, but that's only if they expand their hitbox by pressing a button. Then maybe you'll catch them from, you know, this range if they press a button. If they jab, you know, they'll get counter hit from this range. So if you have a good read, then let it go, let it rip, but, you know, be careful because you will get launched for it. Now again, it's I-16, 0 to +2 on block, +4 on hits. So you could throw something like a jet opera out if you think they're gonna mash and they will get launched. This does normal 18 damage. It's still pretty good damage on hit. It's not bad for a safe mid, and obviously counter hit launcher because Bryan things. Now the main move that everyone loves and hates is this move, QCB1. This move is incredible. Borderline, I'm not gonna say broken because obviously buff Bryan, but this move is fantastic. You have multiple follow-ups. You have quarter circle forward 1+2. You have QCB4, which gives you Oki, but it does less damage than the quarter circle forward 1+2. And also, if you want Snake Eyes, you can do up forward 3+4, which does less damage than both. But again, you get your install Snake Eyes, which we'll talk about later. I-14, I-15, because obviously you have to input quarter circle back. It says 13 in the bottom, but yeah, I would say more. It's more around the 14 to 15 frame. And obviously, again, Bryan being Bryan, counter hit launcher or a gajillion damage. You can get heat burst in as well with this combo. Shout out Jimmy J, and just insane amounts of damage. So one of your best tools, +5 on block, literally sets up all your pressure. But again, it's one of those moves where you need to be careful with how you use it. You can sidestep it, and you can sidestep a lot of the follow-ups that come out after it. So if I was to do this into down 2, it will whiff. If I was to do this into 3+4, that will obviously catch because it catches sidestep left. So if they were to go that way, it will miss even though you're +5. Down forward 2 will whiff. Back 1 will whiff. So you need to again be careful with your timing. You know, maybe delay your step if you notice they're stepping to try and catch them, or you could use your homing move. But it's not a bad idea to throw this move out a lot because it's insane, especially sort of, this is more tailored towards the beginners who want to learn Bryan and want to know how to use certain things in his toolkit. This move is incredible. Do not be scared to throw this out. If your opponent is hard ducking, then you have another OP move, which is this quarter circle forward 1+2. Now this used to be a wall bounce in the Tekken 7. Now it is a mid heat engaging launcher, which is only -9. Yeah, this move is incredible. It's only about 16 frames it comes out at. Again, you need to input the quarter circle forward, so 16 to maybe even I-17 it will come out at. incredible move. You can literally throw this out, mix this up with this in the neutral. People want it to be, you know, launch punishable, or not launch punishable, but at least punishable. But obviously us Bryan mains do not want that happening. You know, you get, yeah, just a full launch out of this move. Insane. But yeah, those are sort of his key moves I would worry about at that sort of beginner, maybe even intermediate level, if you aren't using a lot of those moves. Obviously you have, on top of that, you have this his orbital as well, let's not forget. Up 4 and up forward 4 are two different things. Up 4 is more of a defensive orbital. This is more of a approach orbital, like if you hard call on a duck and then you press up forward 4. But at certain ranges, if they were to like jab or sometimes even do like a mid, this will crush. Well, it won't crush, it will just, it has a huge hitbox, so orbital is incredible as well. And I believe it's -5, yeah, -5 on block. So it's sort of that borderline where you can't really do anything after. But yeah, those are sort of the core moves I would focus on for like a beginner to intermediate sort of level. Again, matchup knowledge is probably the most important thing in this game, which will only come with time. But again, these moves are things, these are moves you have to use in your neutral, for obviously different purposes, whether you're using homing tools or mid checking or whatever it might be. Punishment. Punishment is an interesting one for Bryan. His punishment isn't amazing when we're starting off with his 10 frames. You know, you got 1-4, you got 2-3. Let me just turn off block. But again, yeah, 1-4, 19 damage, +4 on block. 2-3 is 24 damage, +6 on hits. Sorry, 1-4 was also +4 on hit. Now they have different purposes. The way I would also add 1-2 as a 10 frame punish. It's only 13 damage, but you're +8. Now, the reason these are important, the frames are important as well. 1-4 is really good because it keeps you in range to do certain follow-ups, right? 2-3, things will whiff, like down 4-2, but you're +6. 2-3 isn't that good in Tekken 8 just because of the pushback. They definitely need to change it because it generally feels like you just cannot do anything after this. Like, people will step and interrupt all the time. Like, as you can see, I'm trying to continue my pressure at +6, but everything is still whiffing after. So you need to be careful with how you use that move. Whereas 1-4, at least they will, well, I'm getting stepped right now, but they will still be in range for you to at least continue your pressure, keep things going. Obviously you're only +4 compared to +6, but it's basically neutral reset. Like, nothing will hit and everything else will be stepped, apart from, yeah, down 2 will clip, but again they can just backdash or sidestep, and yeah, it will whiff. Be very mindful with how you use your 10 frame punishment. That's something I've tried to focus on a bit more recently. With 1-2, they cannot do anything because you're +8. You can just let everything rip and they cannot do anything about it, and people don't notice that themselves. So sometimes I'll purposely do 1-2 as a punish and go into one of my bigger moves because I know they just can't do anything about it. So I would say pick it carefully. When my back's against the wall, maybe I'll use 2-3 just to push them away, create a bit of space. But yeah, you get creative with how you use your punishment at that level. At 12 frames, he's got his 4-3, 27 damage, +2 on hit. I have the typical Bryan syndrome where I will literally just use 1-4 instead of using this punishment. Even though it's really good, it does a lot of damage. You're only +2, and I just forget to use 4-3, to be honest. Well, it's a really good punish. 27 damage, +2, they can't really do much. 13 frame, you've got down 4-2-1, 23 damage, +5 on hit. If you back swear, you're +8. And then you can literally you get a free mix up here, by the way. You can do hatchet, you can do QC back 2 if you think they're going to duck for the hatchet. But do be careful because they can power crush, but that's when the hatchet would come in clutch. But yeah, down 4-2-1, it's a great 13 frame punish. However, in this game, they have given us an actual, I would say a much better 13 frame punish, which you have to get used to using, which is up forward 2-2-2-3, which does I think about 28 damage. It has a knockdown as well, so you can sort of set up any sort of Oki situation as well. It also wall splats at certain ranges. The range is quite absurd. Basically getting 70 damage off a 13 frame move at a wall, which is ridiculous. It has incredible range. Obviously, you know, knockdown properties as well. But yeah, that's something that Bryan mains need to be using a whole lot more because it is incredible. I'm still getting used to using it myself. You do have the Snake Eyes version, which does 33 damage, which is 5 upward 2-2s with the 3 ender, 33 damage. Again, 33 damage for 13 frame.
Punish is incredible, and again, it can wall splat from a crazy range, so definitely get used to using this move.
And now we've got the 14 frame punish, which everyone knows about. Forward back to jet upper. Just boatloads of damage from this launcher. Bryan has insane wall carry as well in this game, so you could probably get to the wall from here, for all I know. He's got so much carry. Make sure you are punishing -14 moves with this. You are missing out on this whole character by not punishing -14 moves. This is what makes him so unique, is having this ability, because no other character apart from, I believe, Lars and obviously Mishima's with electrics, but that's difficult to do. But just like a raw 14 frame launcher, I believe it's just him and Lars. Now we'll go into his while standing punishment. He's got while standing 4, 16 damage, +5. Some while standing 4s are +7, his is +5. I-12, you've got while standing 3, 17 damage, +4 on hits. Now this is where his while standing punishment actually gets good, because this is terrible. Like 17 damage, it's not great punish at all. Well, however, his 13 frame, you got your full crouch, down forward 2-1, 37 damage and a knockdown. Wall splats as well. Down forward 2-1 at the wall is basically death. Like 85 damage, and you can definitely get more if you do like some fanciness like this. And then if I was to do like a heat engager or something, it would probably do that much. But yeah, we're not going to get into that right now. But yeah, make sure you are punishing -13 lows with this move. Make sure you get knocked down, you get Oki. You have to. Then obviously he's got his 15 frame, which is his while standing 1. You know what to do with this move. Just make sure you're launching anything -15 and above with this. If you're not, yeah, you're just missing out on a lot of damage. Then he's got a 19 frame while standing launcher as well, being forward back 2. Well, it's not forward back 2, it's while standing 2, but you can either press forward or back to get that blue spark that I just did. This is the normal one, which does, you know, a fair bit less damage, but you need to practice to get the blue spark, which I did first attempt and now I'm not. It does 5 more damage, really good. The timing for it is basically when the 2 connects. As it connects, you want to press forward or back 2. And now I'm just not going to hit it. There you go. It will take a bit of time to get used to, but it's definitely something you should be practicing. But yeah, that is his punishment. Snake Eyes is his new install that he has been given. A lot of characters have been given installs. This is Bryans. Now the moves that he gets from this, that give him Snake Eyes, should I say, to start off with. You got up forward 3+4. As you can see, I turn red. My hands are glowing, and as you can see next to just underneath my health bar to the left of my heat bar, there's a little symbol that shows that I've got Snake Eyes activated. You can also get Snake Eyes from forward 2-1-4 and then pressing 1+2. So if you don't press 1+2, nothing happens. If you press 1+2, you got your Snake Eyes. You have QCS forward 2-4, which is used in combos. So when you do combo like this, that is when you would get Snake Eyes. Bow, bow. There you go. Hand glow is red. He's also got down 3-2, 1+2. So again, you wouldn't get it normally, but if you press 1+2 right after, you get it. He also gets it from a parry. As you can see, you do your parry and you press 1+2. Now, what you get from Snake Eyes is incredible. They've really buffed Snake Eyes a fair bit. So you get 3+4 2. Natural, knockdown, wall splat, -1 on block. This move is, yeah, like, just really good. Make sure you use it. -1, you can do literally anything you want after. Maybe not a sidestep taunt upper. Yeah, frames are incredible. 40 damage, mid, has really good tracking. You can sidewalk as well. You can try and sidewalk. If the first 3+4 like misses, the 2 will track you. So be careful with this move. And then again, some OP-ness at the wall. My goodness, as Mr. Tetsuya says. Yeah, you can get a lot more damage than that. You can go over 100. Anyway, you got 3+4 2, and then you've also got a charged up version for this as well. So if they were to block the first one, you can charge it up and you can still wall splat them. And you still get a combo. They can, as soon as they see your hand glow, they can interrupt and launch you. So that's sort of the timing for it. So you can see his hand glows. They can interrupt you in that period. Or they can sidewalk you. If they block it, nothing happens. But you are -1, so you could even do like everyone flowcharts this. It's like a mini flowchart, but 3+4 2 sidestep back 4, because people always mash right after, and then you get a launcher at the wall anyway. Because, well, you know, oh, if I can back 4, you know, you get a launcher on the wall, etc., etc. Forward 2 1 2 3 2. This string right here is what honestly got me to GOD when it came out. This is like the most perfect install to Bryan's kit, and you have to use this. Third hit -2, fourth hit -3, final hit -10, but no one can punish it in open ground. Only 3 characters, I believe, including like Jack and maybe Kuma, I think. There's 3 characters basically who can punish it in open ground. Everyone can punish it at the wall. So if your back's against the wall and you let this the string rip, then everyone can punish it. But it's only -10. Some characters can counterplay and like sidestep right against the final part of the string, but you can really delay the string a lot as well. Again, this adds to Bryan's mind games that he has. So I could do something like, you know, jab, and then I can go into a forward 3 if I think they're not going to press, because they think the string's ended. Or if they're super impatient, I can just delay that 4th hit. I can not let the final hit rip and then go for a forward 3, a while standing 3, a down 4, yeah, into a parry, why not, if I think they're going to retaliate. Like, there are so many mind games you can create with this string. It is honestly an incredible string. Now, the opponent can either heat burst or power crush through the final hit. So be wary with just letting this rip every single time. Really good string. Again, as you can see, the damage, 48 damage. And it wall splats. Yep. As you can see, full launchers. Yep, it's a really good move. And again, they can just delay it. They can just delay that last hit as well. So we've got this extension, as I mentioned before, as part of his punishment. You can obviously get it out of taunt as well. Yeah, 33 damage, extension, wall splat. This comes out of only Snake Eyes. And yeah, one of the coolest moves that he has in his kit now, out of Snake Eyes, is forward 1+2. 36 damage, high. It's basically a parry. Insane. Wall splats, +5 on block. Knockdown, it does everything. If Kazuya did jab into jab and I did forward 1+2, I'd win the exchange. But as you can see, this character it's just a lot of momentum. You know, it's a lot of mind games. It's a lot of, am I going to finish this? Am I going to keep throwing pressure out? Am I going to take you? I'm just going to keep taking you to the wall. Back 1, QCB1. Just keep running your pressure. Now, his heat engages, we'll just go through quickly. You've got, again, you got 1, 2, 4, I10, -5 on block, but they're all highs, so be careful with this. You got sidestep 2, 1, which is, by the way, hit confirmable. You can delay that a lot, as you can see. It's also a launcher in heat as well, so just bear that in mind. Really good move. You've got down back 1+2. It's I15, -9 on block. It's got a high at the end of it, so they can actually duck the final hit if you whiff this completely. But yeah, really good move. Then you've got You know, the infamous quarter circle forward 1+2, -9 on block as well. Like, all of these are safe. All of them are safe. And then you got forward 4-2, which used to be his power crush. That is also a heat engager. Those are sort of his, you know, core tools I would you know, recommend people to use. Just to go through a few of his lows now. Bryan has probably some of the best lows in the game, if not the best. If there's anyone you can think of who has better lows than Bryan, just leave it in the comments. But down 4, my god, this low is just insane. 15 frames, 0 on block, pushes them back to Antarctica, like, and half the cast can't even punish this at max range. It's impossible. Great low. Don't know what more to say. It tracks both sides. You literally stop people's movements using this. Like, down 4 needs to be a part of your arsenal. If you're not using this to stop people from moving, a quick low, a quick move, if they're constantly stepping you and you're not throwing this out, then you deserve to be stepped. Use down 4. Down back 3. Insane low. High crushing. -1 on hit. +4 on counter hit, which can set up things like while standing 3. Another low to mention. His greatest low. Hatchet kick. 23 damage +5. Comes out in 19s. Well, more 20 to 21 frames it comes out at, because again, you got a quarter circle input to input. And guaranteed disgusting amounts of damage. You create a lot of mind games from this, but just be wary with using it. Again, -13. You know, someone like Kazuya can punish it, Eddie can punish it, Launch punish it. But it creates momentum. That is this character. Momentum, plus frames, rush down-ish. You can play him rush down. You know, it's just about creating momentum and, you know, mentally breaking down your opponent with your plus frames, making them constantly think about, am I going to finish this? Am I going to let this rip? Am I going to do jab into 3+4? Am I going to do down 4-2 to down 4-2 into forward 3? Or am I going to let this finish and counter hit launch you? Like, everything plays into each other. Same with this string. There's so many things you can piece together like this. But yeah, those are sort of the lows I would mention for now anyway. These 3 I'd focus on. That is the whole character. It's a lot of fake pressure, mind games, mental stacks. You know, trying to condition your opponent to press, for them to get impatient. You know, using your tools to slowly break them down, make them want to press, and then letting those extensions rip, even though they're unsafe. You know, some of them, even, you know, down 2-3, you know, -10. It's not that much. It's not that bad at all. You know, certain characters is bad. I mean, if you let this off and, you know, you're playing against like a Heihachi or something, you might just get wall splat if you do this with your back against the wall. But it's all about placement. It's all about timing. You know, you can play it safe until you don't need to. You know, single down forward ones instead of doing multiple and then getting a 10 frame punish. Single ones, down 4s, down back 3s, single down 2s, down forward 2, you know, forward 3, single jab, 3+4, back 1, QCB1, QCB1. You know, this is how you sort of create your game plan, and you need to make sure you use tools like QCB1 and back 1 and hatchet as sort of information tools. To think like, okay, what is my opponent doing after hatchet? Is he stepping to the left? Let me jet upper him. Okay, he sidestep left ducking. Let me do a 1+2 to catch him. Or, you know, maybe even a while standing 3 because it catches sidesteps. If he does sidestep into button, you know, let this rip. It will be around 14 frames because it's a quarter circle forward input. It says 12 frames, but, you know, you can catch them. It's a true frame trap if you're quick enough again with your inputs. You know, after back 1, are they mashing? Okay, let me play it safe and do down 4-2. Okay, after back 1, are they stepping? Okay, 1+2. Okay, now they're taking their turn back. You know, let my G clef rip after back 1. Because I know that they're going to mash into me now. It's all of these small little mind games you need to create with them. But you need to use these tools as your information tools. Don't just throw these out and just, you know, QCB4 and then hatchet and then, you know, oh, I'm gonna do orbital now and then I'm gonna sidestep and then I'm gonna, like, nah. You need to really think about what your game plan is with Bryan. You can't just be like mindlessly throwing all these moves out. You need to be thinking about, okay, I let this string rip and he stayed blocking the entire time. Okay, what does that mean? That means I can do down 2 into maybe a down 4, or a down 2 into a single jab, and continue my momentum, because I know he's waiting for this extension. But yeah, that's how you want to think about it. Alright, cool. So now we're going to talk about Bryan's keep out, so his Whiff Punishment. Now, he has a standing launcher, forward 4-1, 18 frame startup. This move is just insane. If they whiff from a certain distance and you notice, and again, for certain moves which you cannot punish in the open ground, like Kazuya's down back 1-2, or, you know, Law's while standing launcher, you would use this to whiff punish them for, you know, just insane amounts of damage. Again, obviously this isn't like optimal combo, but you get the idea. You know, if they do whiff a move, meaning if they miss a move in the open, you know, you can use this to, you know, catch them out, or again punish certain moves that you wouldn't be able to reach with your jet upper. Now, personally, one of my favorite whiff punishing tools is QCB2-4. Now, this move is hit confirmable in this game compared to 7. Sometimes, you know, you tell yourself, you know, I'm going to use QCB2-4, and then you've got a better chance at, you know, hit confirming it. But sometimes, you know, when you're in sort of flow state and you're just throwing things out, you know, sometimes you won't be able to hit confirm this. Again, it takes a lot of practice, but in general, I think it is very much hit confirmable. But as you can see, the damage that you get from this is just insane. A combo's worth of damage, so definitely get used to using this move and hit confirming it, because you're missing out on you know, a lot of damage not using this. And it also tracks, you know, quite well. It has, you know, sort of high crushing properties at the start. It's just an insane move, but do be careful, because second hit is a high, you know, they can duck launch, they're kind of waiting for it. But again, you know, Bryan being Bryan, you can, you know, create mind games just with this tool itself because of how delayable it is. You know, they might just be waiting there, and then next thing you know, they get hit by 3+4. I wouldn't recommend that as a flowchart unless, you know, you have like a really hard read and you know they're not going to press. Finally, you've got his taunt. Now, honestly, I got to the max rank in this game using taunt jet upper probably 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times. Don't worry about taunt jet upper until you've mastered understanding the character first. You know, I used a lot of taunt back 4 to get to this rank. Taunt back 4, I would say, is a must to learn, especially at the wall. Taunt back 4 is something you must learn, in my opinion. Maybe not when you're in, you know, sort of like the red ranks and below and stuff, but maybe when you get to purple ranks and blue ranks, and you know, you're coming against maybe some people who are, you know, at the highest rank but they're playing their secondary character, etc. You know, you need to be able to use these sort of tools to pressure them, because obviously, you know, taunt back 4 gives you guaranteed forward 2 as well, which is a launcher in heat. So I can do the hard part, not the easy part. Yeah, you get a launcher basically. But yeah, you've got obviously taunt 1-4, taunt 2-3. You can taunt your entire punishment. All of the punishments you saw earlier. You can even get down forward 1 in. I'm more consistent at doing TJUs than, yeah, taunt down forward 1 apparently. But yeah, you can do taunt down forward 1, taunt 2-1-4. That wasn't even real. You get the idea. And then obviously you've got the infamous TJU. Thank you for reminding me. You have something which is super cheesy. Taunt Eat Smash. The easiest taunt you can possibly do. You use this on stages which have floor breaks. So if you launch them and you take them to the wall and taunt Heat Smash and you break the floor and you get a full combo, and they're basically dead. So taunt Heat Smash is one I would 100% learn. Probably before taunt back 4. Learn taunt Heat Smash. It's just free 55 damage. Even once heat finishes, you still have Snake Eyes if you're at the wall. Again, you know, create mind games with this. Just really maximize your use for heat. That is the sort of base level of Bryan, what kind of character he is and how to use him, etc. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful for the newcomers to Tekken or the newcomers to Bryan. I think this will probably help people even at intermediate, maybe even high level, if they're forgetting certain things. Like for me, I'm still trying to get into my muscle memory to use up forward 2-2-3 as my 13 frame punish, because it is incredible. Yeah, I hope that helped. I'll catch you on the next one.